Hey, what is up everybody tuning into my Twitch TV and or YouTube. I'll be doing some practice casting now. Anybody who tunes into my Twitch TV, because of course my Twitter, will update that I am always broadcasting. Might end up seeing some stuff start, restart every now and then. That's just mostly because I'm going to be playing around with my casting style just a little bit here. I always like to do some practice casting. I have some events coming up and whatnot. Also wanted to update my YouTube a little bit more often than I have been recently, as I really haven't been putting a lot of videos on my YouTube. I've been putting some of the Zeke 2v2 stuff that I do up there, as well as the occasional other live broadcasts. But I want to do some more games that are more specifically for everybody who tunes into my YouTube. Start updating that a little bit more often. And just in general, getting back to doing a lot more practice casting aside from my live casting. Largely just to play around with my casting style and some of the things I feel like I always need to work on, because I'm very critical of my casting. Always want to be improving, because improving is where it's at. Huzzah! So anyways guys, going to be casting this game here for you guys today. So first off, going to be spawning as our red Terran here on the map, SCII Plateau. We're going to have PoltPrime, and then his opponent for this game going to be spawning as our blue Zerg. We have IMLosria. So two pretty top-notch Koreans gonna be going at it here on SCII Plateau. See the hatch first already out of Lucira. Very standard stuff. Barracks is down here for Polt. Do you see he has taken his gas just after his barracks? You can always tell by either the remaining, or of course if you are not actually playing in a game but just going ahead and cast the game like me, you just look in the top right hand corner. But for people who play the game, always important is just click on those refineries and you can know exactly when it went down. Do you see Polt is going to go and scout out and see what Lucira is doing. Lucira is going to take his gas before he puts down his pool. I like this play by our Zerg player of IMLosria. A lot of Zergs don't really do this often enough, I think. More and more Zerg are starting to get towards this type of an opener. The opener specifically that I'm talking about is basically going 15 hatch into around a 17 gas and then about a 16 pool, which does allow you to get up Zergling speed as soon as the pool does finish up. So you do see this SCV actually getting a little bit low. Now behind this initial barracks opening here for Polt, we are going to get reactor Hellions. So this is a very, very typical play out of Terrans. So many Terrans doing this nowadays, where they will go with the fast reactor Hellions. Now, there's a lot of different ways Terran can go from the reactor Hellions. They can do a lot of one base type of plays behind it, but we do see that Polt is actually going to expand here, throwing down his command center, so it's going to get that expansion started. Probably won't put it out right away. He's going to want to see how Lucira reacts to these initial Hellions. Lucira, though, does have his pool now finished up. Is going to be immediately getting that metabolic boost, so smart move there by Lucira. Grabs that metabolic boost, leaving his drones in gas here, which is a little bit more uncommon. Typically, we'll see Zerg players do basically what they do with a Speedling first build and pull off that gas right after actually getting that metabolic boost. But actually, if you look on the production screen there, you can see Lucira here, as he pokes up to the front of the ramp, should have seen those Hellions. Definitely going to be seeing them now. Actually going to a really fast layer here, but we have a couple of Hellions moving out here. Probably going to try and kill off a handful of these Zerglings. Will definitely kill a few of them. Might even get all of them. Yes, will fry them all up. Little Zergling critters on the ground there. So Polt will be eating him some Zergling tonight. Don't know how that would taste. They are kind of like a bug race, so I'm not sure that'd be the greatest snack or hors d'oeuvre, if you will. But we do see here is that layer morphing in here for Lucira. It looks like he will have 200 gas by the time this layer does finish up. So it looks like we're going to get a very fast Muta play potentially here out of Lucira. Typically, anytime you are going to go ahead and take the layer as fast as Lucira did and bank 200 gas, you are going for a very quick Spire. So it looks like he doesn't want to deal with any kind of mass Hellion play out of Polt. Now the downside of this is going to be the economy of Lucira is going to be quite a bit stifled because of this. You can see just 3 harvesters above Polt, where normally a Zerg player would be at least 5 to 10 plus harvesters ahead of Terran at this point in the game. Do see Polt doing a good job poking up and down the ramp, making sure that Lucira can't spread creep. Now Lucira, though, not even really attempting to spread his creep. Spire is now down over here in his main. Do see additionally no other tech out just yet, so it just has that Spire on the way. Doesn't really have a lot of gas though, so it's going to be a really Muta light but very quick Muta play. It's going to get those Mutas out by about the 8 to 8:15 mark if he just builds them right off the bat. Do you see behind us though, Polt has expanded. Looks like he's going to be just using a supply depot wall off at his natural to make it a little bit harder for Lucira to do any Zergling run-bys, as a couple more Zerglings get fried up there by those Hellions. So Lucira tries to send out a couple to the Xel'Naga Tower. Actually, Lucira losing quite a bit of Zerglings here, and now even has a third Spore Crawler going down. Now, I do believe that Lucira has spotted the fact that Polt has expanded, and no, actually did not spot the fact that Polt has expanded, so probably aware of it, but I'm not 100% sure that he is. Do you see Polt though behind these couple of Hellions is going to be going very standard tank Marine. A lot of Terran players still playing it just like Polt is right now. Going to be very Marine heavy, bio heavy, with just a spattering of tanks. Do have that Central Stim upgrade on the way. A couple of Marauders getting thrown in there as well. You see, already has quite a few Marines out on the map. Now, Lucira did scout those Marines. Does know for sure that Polt has expanded here to his natural. Turret's already on the way here for Polt. Don't know if he threw down a scan in Lucira's base. No. Yes, he did, actually. So he saw that Spire coming up. So he is going to be more than prepared for these Mutas. And it's only going to be 4 Mutas here initially. Baneling Nest on the way as well here for Lucira. So this is going to be completely spotted by Polt. That is allowing him to throw some missile turrets up. So he is going to be completely defended from those Mutas. Even has his engineering bay here to start getting upgrades, as well as put up that missile turret defense. So this play is going to be completely thwarted here by Lucira, so this is not going to work out very well for Lucira at all. Looking at the economy, you can see what it has done to him. You can see quite a bit of extra mineral income for Polt compared to Lucira. So with that very bio-heavy style of play that Polt is using, his going to be in a really good position here with Lucira. You can already see 88 supply to 75 supply, quite a bit ahead of Lucira. Lucira really needs these Mutas to do some damage. Going to have to try and make the best of them since he is committed to this play at this point in the game. Immediately starting his Baneling Nest and his centrifugal hooks here behind these initial couple of Mutas. So he's going to poke in here. Needs to be a little careful with this turret. Needs to back this Mutalisk up. Is getting very low. 1 hit point. Oh my god, that was so close, Lucira. You almost lost that Muta, but good heads-up play there by Lucira, picking that Muta and moving it back. Does pick off a refinery there, so we'll stifle a little bit of gas here out of Polt. Now, Polt's just going to actually, looks like, push out across the map. I can't say I disagree with this play by Polt. Polt realizing that Lucira, based on when he did see that Spire morphing in for Lucira, realizing that Lucira probably went for a very quick Muta timing. And as a result of that, isn't going to have a huge economy, not going to have a third base, not going to have quite as much production as a Zerg normally would at this point in the game. You see Lucira morphing in a lot of Zerglings, has pulled back his Mutalisk as well. But Polt's just going to go ahead and try and force the issue here, realizing that Lucira's economy might not be the best. One Queen will go down almost immediately. Polt now sieging up. Here comes Lucira from the back, does manage to pick off a single tank, but we'll need to be careful. Those Marines do have stim and can take out those Mutas oh so quickly. The Spine Crawler's doing a little bit of damage here as there is no Medivacs for Polt. Ooh, Lucira poking in once again, taking a little bit of damage on those Mutas without really getting a whole lot done. A few Banelings not going to move down to maybe try and get after a couple of these Marines. Not going to be able to pull them off. Oh, Lucira, I'm not sure what he's doing. Poking in, attacking these Marines directly with the Mutas. Now I don't think he's actually paying enough attention. Losing a lot of those Mutas here in this skirmish with these Marines. Now just actually taking out the remainder of a lot of these tanks. Here comes his Banelings though. Uses a lot of them to actually clean up the tank. Now going to try and split them to clean up the rest of these Marines. Not a very cost-efficient battle at all though for Lucira. Lost all those very gas-intensive Mutalisks and really had to use a lot of Banelings to hold that push. And it looks like behind his Polt's just going to go ahead and re-push once again. 2 more tanks on the way, this time with a couple of Medivacs and just a bunch of Marines. I think Polt might already smell a little bit of blood in the water here. Lucira immediately trying to morph in a couple of Banelings. More Mutas getting rebuilt, but he lost so many Mutas in that play. Was not very tight with his control at all. This could really hurt him here to have such a low Muta count here. as with these medevacs, these Marines are going to be even more difficult to take out. You can see, look at all these Marines rolling here, going to be coming up to the natural right now, 110 to 75 supply. Lucira is in a lot of trouble, does not have a ton of economy backing this up. Moving forward now, going to be poking back and forth just a little bit with each other. Look at the economy, see right there, Polt actually, all things considered, a little bit ahead of Lucira. Now Lucira going to try and get these banelings down to these Marines. A lot do get taken off by these tanks over here on the low ground, but will get a majority of the Marines. But now here comes that second pack of Marines up to the top of the ramp for Polt, taking out a lot of those banelings, spreads his Marines just in time, and here's where those low muta counts are really hurting Lucira. Could have had a good 12 to 13 mutas, but now instead is very light on Mutalist and can't even clean up this just spattering of Marines without the help of these banelings, because he only has about 3 mutas remaining. So Polt's going to be able to just sit here with these medevacs and micro back and forth against these banelings, and there's just basically nothing Lucira can do about this. Lucira's going to move up a couple of banelings. Now here comes his mutas. Mutas now spot the secondary medevacs along with more Marines moving in, and this could be a very fast GG out of Lucira. Queen comes out, here comes a couple of lanes getting thrown into these Marines, and there's the GG out of Lucira, and Polt is going to take this game in an extremely fast fashion. So thank you very much everybody who is tuning in, whether it be through my Twitch TV or through my YouTube. Going to be doing a lot more of this in the future, as I do want to be practicing my commentating a lot more. So go ahead and leave me feedback on these broadcasts, guys, if you do watch them, because I do really want to try and improve on my commentating. I think you, no matter who you are, be it Day 9, Artosis, Tasteless, whoever you are, you can always get better in some way, shape, or form. There's always something you can do a little bit different in your casting. So go ahead and leave feedback for me on these guys if you do happen to tune into this. But for now, guys, this is Nurse going to be saying peace, easy. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys at my next broadcast.